All right, Thunder fans, Travis Alonix here, joined by Thunder manager Shawn Chacon after the 21-5 win for the Thunder over the Williamsport Crosscutters. Game 1 is 2-game set out in Williamsport. Shawn, first off, how's the team feeling? A 21 runs today, and the win, 15 hits. You guys came out, offensive explosion, getting this big-time win to start the series.
Yeah, huge win. Coming off a day off, coming off a little road trip out here, no batting practice because it rained with the tarp on. And then, coming out and doing what we did at the plate. The guys, they were ready. I don't know how else to put it other than the bats were ready. I always talk about how pitching sets a tone. So, Dudley getting out of that jam in the first inning, I think, set us off. And that's this sort of momentum and motion. And then we just carried it through the game. So we were due against Williamsport. They've handled us pretty well. For so far this season, even starting the end of last season, going back to the end of last season, they pretty much dominated us as far as wins and losses go. So I know that was tough for them. We hate to see games like that for anybody. Those are tough to get through. But, selfishly for our squad, we needed it. So hopefully we're not hungover with this kind of offensive output tomorrow, and we can come back and still compete and have a good showing and possibly win this, 2-game series, obviously, tomorrow.
Yeah, you mentioned Dudley got out of the jam in the first inning, bottom of the first inning. You guys tripped ahead 3-zip in that first inning. How big was that to get 3 runs there, get a lead?
It was huge, man. You get the 3 runs, and then you come in and, naturally you want to put up a 0 right away. Is keep the momentum, as baseball goes. And so, he bent, but he didn't break. And I believe he just showed everybody why he's a prospect. His stuff is tremendous. His intensity, his desire, his just he has that competitive bones in his body that he just he was able to do it just by being a competitor. That's how he got out of that jam.
I see his line was 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. It's a home run allowed, 3 walks, 8 Ks. Pretty good stuff from him tonight.
Oh, really good stuff. And the 2-run homer came from another prospect, Boston Smith, who I believe could be one of the best players in this league, that at all positions, let alone catcher. So, he gave that up, still came out, settled down, was pumped up after he, struck out, I guess got the 3rd out in the 4th, and, that was it. He was locked in after that first inning. It was fun to watch. Bullpen came in, some new guys we got to see tonight, get their feet wet and able to just keep scoring runs and having good at bats, and the score, those are one-offs. That doesn't always happen, but it's nice to be on the other end of it for once.
Yeah, definitely. So the first inning was guys that have been there doing it all long season. Juju Stevens booming double and Jacob Paternak. But then that 4th inning, 7 runs. Talked about that inning. Had a lot of guys chipping in, coming through.
Yeah, a lot of guys, and can't forget talking about Juju, 5 for 5 at the plate.
Yes.
I think 2 walks, so he, 7 times on base. That's tremendous. But I contemplated taking him out after 4 hits, but a hitting coach, the pro, the expert, he talked me into leaving him in there, and that's what he did, and he got his 5th hit. So everybody contributed. Everybody played the game the right way. We didn't. They made mistakes on the Williamsport side, but we capitalized. We had good at bats, and I was happy to see the fellas get some at bats and appearances in.
Yeah, he's mentioned Juju's line, 5 for 5, 3 RBI, 3 runs scored, and 2 walks. Talk about the lineup today. You had Harry Gent leading off the game, playing third base. He went 2 for 4 runs scored, 3 walks.
Yeah, I don't want to toot my own horn, but mixing it up, starting Harry up top was mostly just to get him some at bats and plate appearances. And he took and ran with it. So again, just like Dawson did on Sunday, that leadoff spot, it proves to be a catalyst for the rest of the lineup. And Harry being on base, his presence on base, his speed, his ability to steal bases, and just bother the pitchers in defense. it's kind of fun to watch him play from when he's on your team, when he's on the other team. Those kind of players, they tend to be a little bit annoying, but I'm glad we have him.
Yeah, definitely. How about John Schroeder started in the outfield, right field today? Let's see.
Oh, yeah. We got to get John in there. We had trying to give Graber a break, some of our guys that are a little bit fatigued and tired, but I also know John he played outfield in college too. Try to give Jane Melendez, at bats and innings behind the dish. And then I also know John played first base. Gave him a little taste at first base. So, we're just trying to show some of these guys versatility, give them a different perspective out there on the field.
Yeah, it's awesome. Show versatility, and you have to mix and match now with Garza Bather now off the team, right?
Absolutely. We're sitting at one. Daniel Corona's a utility. He's not even a true first baseman. So, he's done well there. He'll probably start there every day. But, yeah, we're definitely going to need other guys to, step in and play some different positions as we come down the stretch here. And I think it's beneficial for them to show their versatility.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like you mentioned, a great team win all the way around. 21-5 to final score, 15 hits for the offense, worked 13 walks, took advantage of some errors by Williamsport, and pitchers threw well tonight. Going into tomorrow, again, it's a little 2-game set, 11-11 overall now. I know wins aren't that important, but there's still standings, and you guys climbing Williamsport, chasing them, who were in first place coming in tonight. So that's big. Trying to take the 2-game set tomorrow. Do you have your starter for tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be having Jude Abadessa starting tomorrow. Looking forward to see Jude come out and have a little bit less of a grind of a start than he has the last two, but I know he's pumped. He competes, so I know we'll have a chance to win. So we'll also get a chance to see the rest of our newer guys to the roster get in there tomorrow and the next day too. But one game at a time. We're 500. The only thing about wins is that when you're teaching and developing, players, it's nice to win sometimes that they understand, how it applies to the game. So once you start winning, it gives us a little bit more credibility as far as, the advice we give them, the approaches to the game and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Now before I let you go, do you want to mention, talk about yesterday's game between the Cape Cod League and the Draft League at Citi Field? A few of our guys played in it. Paternak, Sullivan, Sabathia started. Miguel Sime started on the mound through an inning. We had Graber come in there late in the game, got a 2-run single.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Let me tell you what, it was more of an experience for us coaches just to be out there watching these guys be on a big league field and see how they move and stuff. But our guys represented well. Paternak played some third, made some good plays. Sully started and caught Miguel Sime behind the dish and, caught him well. Kid throws 100 miles an hour, so that's no easy task. And then, Graber was able to get a knock, a couple ribbies. And let's see, who else did we have there? Am I leaving somebody out?
I think that was it.
Yeah. So, it was fun, man. It was fun to see the Cape and their players. It's fun to see some of the other players that we've been playing against from this side of the team, being on our team and stuff, and seeing and talking to some of these young players. It was fun. Yeah,
it was, I guess, the whole experience more in inaugural game, first our time playing each other.
Right, absolutely. It was fun, man. It was great. The scouts were all out there. We got to see batting practice, these guys hitting homers and batting practice and stuff. So overall, it was a good experience. I think it was a great success for the Draft League. And then naturally, we win that game. It's a little feather in the cap. So.
Yeah, final score, Draft League did win the game 10-6, kind of tight game, and you guys pulled away some runs 7th and 8th inning there. It's good to see.
A couple home runs early, and then, the difference was obviously pitching. I think MLB Draft League's pitching ended up being stronger through the middle and late part of the games, and then, the hitters obviously took advantage, so.
All right, cool stuff. Thunder manager Shawn Chacon. Thunder again win 21-5 final score tonight. Going for this 2-game sweep over Williamsport tomorrow night, 6:35 first pitch. Thanks for your time as always, Shawn, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, man. Good being on. Appreciate you, Travis.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.